Welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video. My name is Ashley. I'm going to be showing you 3 different meals I made this past week. I don't always follow recipes exactly, but if you're interested, I've linked some similar recipes down below. So the first dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made some BBQ chicken flatbreads. Barbecue chicken pizza is one of my favorite pizzas, so I wanted to make this on some flatbread. So I'm starting out with my chicken. I'm just taking one large chicken breast and I cut it in half. Now I'm just going to dice up all of the chicken into small bite-sized pieces. So once all the chicken was cut up in this bowl, I'm just going to throw that in a pan with a little bit of oil. I have my pan set on about medium heat. I'm just going to season the chicken with all of my favorite seasonings like Cajun seasoning, Montreal chicken seasoning, and some salt. So I'm just going to cook my chicken on about medium high until it is all the way cooked through. The smell of this chicken cooking is unbeatable. I say this all the time, but I could really just eat chicken just like this. So once the chicken was done, I just went ahead and covered it with a lid. That way I can keep the chicken nice and warm while I work on cutting up the vegetables. One of my favorite parts about barbecue chicken pizza is the jalapenos, and I love fresh jalapenos. So I'm just going to take a couple jalapenos and cut them up into small little rounds. So the next important vegetable for a barbecue chicken pizza is the red onion. So I'm just going to take part of a red onion and cut that up into small little rounds as well. So next is to start assembling the flatbread. I just got these thin flatbreads from Target. They came in a 2-pack. So I'm just going to use the one of them and I'm going to spread around barbecue sauce. Spread as much barbecue as you do like. I wanted it nice and saucy, so I'm going to add a good amount of barbecue sauce. So next I'm going to use Monterey Jack cheese for my pizza, and we love cheese, so of course I did a good amount of that as well. So next I'm going to top the pizza with some chicken. I'm just going to spread on an even layer, and of course I wanted to use as much chicken as I could so it didn't go to waste. So next I'm going to top the pizza with the red onion. And lastly, I'm going to spread around my fresh jalapenos. I love fresh jalapenos, like I said, so I will do a lot of these. Totally optional, but I just squeezed a little bit more barbecue sauce on top for a little drizzle, and then this went in the oven at 375 until it was nice and brown. So this is how everything looked when it was done. I just served it with a side salad. This definitely satisfied my barbecue chicken pizza craving. The next dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made some Hoisin honey chicken skewers, and these turned out better than I even imagined. So I'm starting off with my chicken breast again, and for these I'm just going to cut the chicken into bigger chunks. You want to be able to stick an entire stick through them and them to not fall apart. So I just cut them up into about 1-inch cubes. So next you want to marinate the chicken. So this sat in this for about an hour. I'm just using some soy sauce, some Hoisin sauce, which is like a Japanese barbecue or Chinese barbecue sauce, and then I'm using some gochujang sauce and some honey. So I'm just going to mix everything together, and you want everything to be nice and coated, that way flavor will really soak into the chicken. And of course, I'm going to add in a nice spoonful of garlic. Even just this marinating, my husband came in and was like, this smells so good. So next I'm going to work on my green beans. I'm just taking a fresh bag of green beans and I'm going to spray them with a little bit of cooking spray. I'm just going to season with some garlic and herb seasoning and some black pepper. And then I just tossed everything around, and this went in the oven at about 350. So next I'm going to begin getting the chicken on the skewers. This was definitely the hardest process of it all, but it wasn't that bad. This just got very messy, so I wanted to make sure I did it over the cutting board. I'm just going to take each piece of chicken and slide that through. Do as much as you'd like. You can really tell how flavorful this chicken was going to be just based on the color. So at this time I do have 1 cup of white rice cooking. Next I'm going to work on the skewers. So I just have a little bit of oil heating up in a very hot pan, and basically I'm just doing this to brown the chicken. It will cook all the way through in the oven. This part is definitely hard because the oil is like splattering everywhere, so just be careful. So once they were nice and brown, I just removed them to this baking tray. I'm just going to throw these in the oven at about 400 degrees until they are all the way cooked through. This is how everything looked when it was done. We absolutely loved these. My husband ate 3 entire skewers. The last dinner I'm going to be showing you, I just made a quick and easy egg fried rice. This is always my go-to when I don't have time. So I just cooked my white rice ahead of time, and next I'm just going to work on the fried rice. So to a pan with some oil, I'm going to throw in the rest of that bag of the frozen peas and carrots. I absolutely love frozen peas and carrots in fried rice. So I'm just going to cook these up until they are all nice and softened. So next, for a little seasoning, I'm going to add in some minced garlic and onion powder. So next I'm going to crack 2 eggs and scramble them. I am not going to waste another dish, so I'm just going to do this all in one pan. So next I'm going to add in my cooked white rice. I just had this drying out in the fridge. It's better to use dried out white rice over fresh cooked rice. So I have my pan set on about 7 or 8 on the hotness scale. I'm just going to toss this around. I'm not going to add any liquid yet until it's been frying up. So next I'm going to add in my soy sauce and some hoisin sauce. This is just to give the rice some nice flavor. At this point, you can definitely start taste testing your rice and adding whatever else you think it needs. I'm going to add a little bit more soy sauce and hoisin sauce, and I also added in a little bit of salt. This is how everything looked when it was done. You can never go wrong with some easy homemade fried rice. Thank you so much for watching this week's What's for Dinner video. Make sure you come back next week for another one.